The United Nations Development Programme for Nigeria prepared the first Human Development Report for the Niger Delta in 2006. It stated that the oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta are poor and underdeveloped. Ikarama, a host community to Shell Nigeria for over 60 years, is one such community. It is poor, underdeveloped and fractured. Families, men, women and youths all struggle amongst themselves for what little benefits trickle down from having the oil company in their lands for over 60 years. This is the paradox of plenty. Multinational oil companies have made astronomical profits from oil and gas production in this community while the community struggle in their poverty. The Nigerian government and politicians also contribute to making their own people poor. These are the power relations that currently threaten the survival of the global ecosystems. This is a sabotaged oil pipeline in Ikarama community. The youths rupture it regularly to vent their anger at the company. In their judgment, this is the only way to advance their interests. It brought environmental and health hazards right into the homes of the poor. A poor family live in their mud house and the crude oil seeped right up to their back kitchen. Crude. Right beside the kitchen, right beside the children. Crude. A mother and her newborn twins live there with her children and husband. For months, the crude oil remained there with its suffocating fumes filling the lungs of the children and their parents.
Mama.
Twins too, boy.
Oh boy.
This is dark.
Yeah, fine boy.
Hello.
They are relaxing.
2 months old.
Yeah, 2 months. I'm so hungry in the sense that time to time, this cramp failure is happening in this particular point. Like in form of every year. So when the spillage occur, it will affect us badly because we are very close to this one. You understand?
So that spill is only about 100 meters away
It's not up to 100 meters.
It's not up
It's
to
not up to 100 meters.
But you were saying you were worried about your children.
Yeah, because the inhaling, the odor of the crude oil is affecting the children, and even these 2 kids are too tender. They are too small to perceive the odor.
The former Dutch ambassador, who is now the special envoy for the Niger Delta to the Dutch government, visited the community. He met the children and their parents.
Congratulations with your twins. And these are also your children.
These are also the children.
Hey! Shake. Hello.
Ambassador, I want to show you where the spill came through. We will move through your house out into our kitchen. And once you want me to head again on this one. Oh! My brother.
Be careful, eh?
Bert, you will pull this one out.
Yeah.
Without falling in.
Yeah.
You see where it is?
Yeah. So this is all oil, what I see.
Crude oil. Measure it. Now, we'll put that up against your side to see where it comes up to your waist.
Above. And it's all oil?
All crude oil from that pipe.
So they have now installed a...
Those are supposed to be called booms to stop it from spreading, but you know.
But the oil is still leaking? Or
No, it has been clamped. It was stopped.
Clamped.
But after clamping it, they
But why they don't take it away?
that's June the 3rd. And this is July the 24th.
Why is it still here then? But what is Shell's response to this?
They got young people, boys, to clean the grasses away, but they haven't come. I see now these black tanks came in the last few days, so I presume they are going to take this. It's crazy.
Crazy. Taking far too long.
Too long, too long. And,
He asked, what is Shell's response to this? The answer is contained in the joint Shell and government report called a JIV regarding the spill. On page 1 of the report, it states that the cause of the spill was sabotage. On page 2, the report states that there was no structure/properties found within the area of the spread of the spill. The joint investigation team failed to acknowledge the existence of the mud house with the children and their parents inside. They failed to acknowledge the existence of numerous homes and residences within the area of the spread of the spill. On page 5 of the report it stated, oil residence time on the site, 4 days. The crude oil was on the site for months before the company came to award a contract for cleaning it up. On page 6 of the report, the net estimated spilled volume of oil was 447 barrels. Amnesty International's most recent report, Bad Information, Oil Spill Investigations in the Niger Delta, presents evidence of serious and systemic flaws in the oil spill investigation process. It exposes serious problems with how the volume of oil spilled is assessed and recorded. They say that it is likely that the volume of oil recorded as spilled in many cases is incorrect. So also in this case. The human rights impacts are serious. The impact is exacerbated by the failure to clean up and remediate the affected areas properly and swiftly. Amnesty International points out that the United Nations Environment Programme in 2011 questions Shell statements and data on cleanup and remediation. In Ikarama community, there is a fishing lake called Oyo Lake. It was seriously polluted by an oil spill in December 2008. It was not until ECCR brought it to the attention of Shell London that Shell Nigeria came in August of 2013 to clean it up.
We had just started. You said what you are seeing just now is not what you expect. But I promise you, before we leave here, you'll be proud and be happy with what we are doing. This is just the preliminary one. So don't expect magic overnight.
After the cleanup, the National Oil Spill Detection and Remediation Agency, NOSDRA, certified the cleanup to Nigerian legal standards. However, the local fishermen complained that hydrocarbon was still evident in many places. Saka protested to NOSDRA.
Yes, Mr. Timothy, you are a living witness.
Yes.
You led that team from Shell.
That's why I'm asking this
And
question.
the thing is that we pointed it out here, in this very place we are standing.
But the Saramo.
that the impacted area is beyond these two areas. That there's another area that was impacted, and the drawing was made.
Wait, please, Mr. Musa. Mr. Adenga, please, you go and visit, you go and visit that place and see for yourself the camera and your team and get back to us within the next 1 week, please. I don't want any more this matter to be discussed.
Okay, I think that's
Go and contact these people and this man and father. You go to the place and let them show you physically that this is where we're talking about.
NOSDRA directed Shell to go back to Oyo Lake and continue the cleanup. Saka conducted their own laboratory tests on the soil and sediment and water samples from the lake. The results indicated the presence of heavy metals. The SPDC General Manager for Community Relations refuted these findings. the Shell oil spill manager decided to send a team of experts back to Oil Lake and to do more laboratory tests. Could it be that UNEP are correct to conclude that Shell's public claims do not stand up to scrutiny and are inconsistent with existing evidence? In Ikarama community, Shell have a manifold. It is sabotaged regularly. We are visiting the Ikarama manifold, the Shell manifold. In the month of June, the manifold was tampered with and valves were released and oil spread all over this area. June, now we are in October, and on the 4th or 5th of October, a similar thing has happened. The joint investigation visit for the cause of spill raises the issue whether it was tampering or whether it's equipment failure. However, the results are very clear. Massive oil pollution, and it is having a massive impact on this environment. A continuous, massive impact on this community, on the environment and on the people's lives. Each time it happens, it floods the surrounding farmlands, lakes and waterways, including the mud house where the children live. Essex Business and Human Rights Project pointed out in their recent report on corporate liability in a new setting, Shell and the changing legal landscape for the multinational oil industry in the Niger Delta, that Shell must face up to fresh liabilities on the horizon for failures to deal with oil pollution in the Delta. Nigerian law states that there is no duty to compensate victims where the pipelines have been sabotaged by third parties. But the company is still liable for failing to clean up and remediate the areas affected by spillage. However, more damaging is the issue of Shell's failure to take all necessary precautions and ensure adequate security to protect their manifold and other facilities in an area where threats to security are the order of the day. The report states, the core principle is that the one who carries out hazardous activities is responsible for failing to anticipate and minimize the damaging effects of all trespassers, even those who are ill-intentioned. If a facility is not adequately secured against such trespassers, then the owner or the operator of that facility can be at best partly responsible for the damage done to third parties by those who have malicious intent. This principle applies in Nigerian law. We are not seeing any solutions. There is a problem about surveillance. There is nobody in charge of this manifold, and have for months. The complaint is that workers, those surveillance contractor workers, have not been paid since when? When were you last paid?
10 months ago.
10 months ago? From January 2014 till to date, you have received no payment as the manifold surveillance contractors and the pipeline. You are supposed to be in charge. Are you one of those workers?
Yes, in the pipeline.
Come here, my young man. You are working for a surveillance contractor. Is that correct?
Yes.
To protect the pipeline and the manifold?
Yes.
You say you have not been paid since January of 2014. This is October 2014. So why have you not been paid?
According to Shell, they revoked the contract to other contractors without telling the workers.
According to Shell, they gave the surveillance contract to a new contractor without telling the workers.
We didn't have any problem with the contractor.
And you had no problem with the previous contractor.
No problem.
He used to pay you on time.
Well.
But now you are not getting your salary.
Yes.
So do you think that is the reason why some people may have sabotaged this pipeline or this manifold?
Exactly this one. I don't have idea, but As in the pipeline, that is why the pipeline is still bushy up till now.
Okay, the bush. This is the pipeline
Yes.
area. That's supposed to be cleared from
Yes.
bush.
To the carpet level.
Here,
So-
straight on, is it?
Yes.
But now there is the pipeline route and it is overgrown by weeds. Anybody can walk in there and blow that pipeline. So we have a problem in Ikarama. We have a problem with the contractors, whether they are contracted and whether they're paid and whether you guys are doing surveillance. A woman wades through the thick crude oil. Women in the community lament the impact of the oil spills on their lives. They lament how the polluted creeks and rivers are no longer usable and that they have difficulty sourcing clean and safe water. Many are farmers who despair about the reduced yields from oil-contaminated soil.
Now, these are the debris. As you
This
can
is a
see.
cassava farm.
Yes.
Somebody, this one.
Look at.
This is crude oil inside the
someone's farm.
soil, and they are planting their cassava here. Look, this is cassava, Chidi. This is the cassava stick inside the farm, mixed with crude oil, taken from the spill point across here. So, are you farming? You have your farm here?
I look at my cassava and everything there.
He has his cassava farm.
Yes,
there.
cassava farm here, plantain. You go to this way, you will see all my crops around here.
So you have worked hard for this farm?
Well, at Maurice Alagua,
Yeah.
when this village occurred, when the last year before last, when this village occurred, I even vex. My woman soak cassava, quantity of cassava, plenty of cassava,
Or the oil soaked?
all soaked with crude oil.
And you
They
never...
snap it. Oh,
They snap it and-
everything.
And they never give you compensation?
1 naira,
They snap up. You can show him even the pictures.
1 naira, 1 naira.
These women believe that the oil industry has made them poor, while their livelihoods and the basis for family food have been damaged or destroyed. They know they will never get access to compensation from companies. Amnesty International states that gender disaggregated data on the impacts of pollution does not exist in the Niger Delta. However, as various systems are improved, it is vital that the different ways that oil processes affect men and women are better understood, and that women are able to participate in key processes. The exclusion of women from the JIV process not only means they lack information, it can affect the extent to which impacts of oil spills on women's lives are recorded and addressed. We leave the last word to the children. My sister, can you sing for me again? Come and sing for William. Come and sing for us. Can you sing?
Holy Spirit, come and take control.